These days, she is busy with her work as president of the Original Philippine Performing Arts Foundation, or OPA Foundation, as well as being co-artistic director of Full House Theater Company in Resorts World Manila. In fact, right after this afternoon's event, she's going to rush back to rehearsals for their new production of Ang Huling El Bimbo, which will open next month, for which she is both doing work as assistant director and as a performer. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you, as Mr. Enriquez said, the First Lady of Philippine Musical Theater, Menchu Lauchengco-Yulo.
Oh my God. Wow, wow, wow. Good afternoon, parents, alumni, faculty, and of course, graduating students. Let me tell you, when Dennis called me and said that I was going to give a speech for you guys, I was so excited. I have never done this before. So this is technically my first, and I'm really excited and nervous at the same time. So I hope I do justice and inspire everyone. And by the way, the girl doing the musical, wherever you are, keep at it. It takes years. Believe me, we're doing El Bimbo and we're still not done, and we open in a month. So I'm telling you, it takes years. So keep at it. I hope to see it staged someday. Anyway, the year 1978 was a turning point in my life. Not because I suddenly knew what I wanted to do with my life, but because the universe had opened up an opportunity that would dictate my destiny. People always ask me, if you were not in the theater, what would you be doing? And quite frankly, I really don't know. Theater came knocking on my door rather than the other way around. It was not planned. It was not a childhood dream. In first year high school, my English teacher, Miss Herminia Basit, must have seen something in me because she convinced me to portray the lead role in a play she had written about Saint Louise de Marillac. She was the patron saint of our school. And let me tell you, it took a lot of convincing. I had no inclination towards the art. I finally agreed, did the role, and moved on. That was 1976. I'm giving away my age, but never mind. Then the following year, a friend approached me saying that there were auditions for repertory Philippine staging of The King and I, of which Bernardo Bernardo was part of. He played the king. Long time ago, I've known Bernardo all these years. I had absolutely no idea what an audition was. All I knew was that I liked the movie. I don't even remember what made me go to that audition or what I thought would come out of it. Imagine my shock when I realized an audition meant getting up on stage and singing. I had never sung in front of an audience. I had done a little acting in our drama club, but that was the extent of it. And what I mean by a little is literally one role. I had gone to the auditions with my brother Raymond. I was only 15 years old, and so my mother didn't want me to go alone. Now, mind you, Raymond was already very popular in school. He had a great voice. He was blessed with a great voice and already a soloist in many recitals. Unbeknownst to him, I filled up an audition sheet for him and submitted it. Imagine his surprise when his name was called. To make a long story short, as Dennis said, he got in and I didn't. He was cast as the son of Ana Leonowens, and I moved on with my life. To this day, I always say that I am responsible for his career and that he should give me a commission every time he gets a gig. Feeling absolutely no loss there, I went on with my high school life. Come opening night of A King and I. This may sound cliche, but as the lights dimmed, and I know the theater people know this, as the lights dimmed and the orchestra played and that curtain rose, I was immediately drawn in. Before this, I had never seen a stage production, and by the time the curtain fell, I knew that this was what I wanted to do. That was 1977. The following year, I auditioned for rep staging of A Fiddler on the Roof. got in, and as they say, the rest is history. The journey was not easy. I failed many times. Remember, I had absolutely no training in the craft and went in armed only with a desire to learn and be good at it. I had no ambitions to be a star. I was very happy in the chorus. But again, the universe must have been on my side because it took Zenaida Amador and Baby Barredo, founders of Repertory Philippines, to see something in me that I obviously did not. They plucked me out of the chorus and thrust me into leading roles. Totally unprepared for that, I was sent to intensive voice training and was given an acting coach. I learned the craft by making mistakes on stage, and that is not easy. I learned not to let failure define me. I learned perseverance. I learned not to give up, and most important, I learned to love what I did. Hard work and a deep desire to learn and be better is what got me to where I am today. To never think I know enough of the craft is what keeps me going. To have something to say, to move an audience, to provoke thought when I direct is what I aim for. It is what I have been preparing for all my life, and I didn't even know it. Looking back, I had an incredible ride, but it was totally unplanned. Maybe I should have taken a course in theater, but never did. Maybe I should have started dance training as a child or took vocal classes with more consistency, but never did. Like I said, I never knew I was going to end up where I am today. Now, why am I telling you all this? Because all of you, in one way or another, are in the same predicament. A lot of you may not necessarily know what the next step is. A lot of you may not even end up in a career that you studied. Today, you graduate. Tomorrow, you are thrust into the real world, full of hope, idealism, and ambition. But you must realize that you really haven't finished anything, but that you have been practicing these last 4 years, and in some cases more, on how to do what you want to do as well as you can. You don't get to stop practicing. Finishing your degrees was just a rehearsal for what life will throw your way. Here is the best advice I can give you based on what I have experienced. When you start a career, you have to deal with the possibility of failure. Embrace those mistakes. Learn from them. Mistakes can be useful. They teach us how to be better at what we do. So make interesting mistakes. Make amazing mistakes. Learn from your mistakes, as I did. It will give you wisdom, and the world certainly needs more wisdom. Don't project yourself too far into the future. That can be misleading, but rather visualize where you might want to go or what kind of work you want to do that is important and necessary. Focusing too far into the future might make you miss what is being presented in front of you at the moment. Do what you want to do because you have something to say. Do what you want to do because you love it and are passionate about it. Do what you want to do because you want to change the world. You are unique simply because you are you. There is nobody else like you. Have strong opinions, contradict, question, provoke thought, never settle, and never let money be the end all. Create a life that touches, changes, and motivates. Nothing is impossible if there is a will to succeed. We are also helping to make the impossible possible at Resorts World Manila. We have established the Original Filipino Performing Arts Foundation, or OPA, where I serve as president to sponsor and nurture passionate students and practitioners, specifically in the arts, who are driven and passionate and have a desire to make a difference in their craft, whether it be artistic or technical. Let me now leave you with advice that Neil Gaiman gave while he addressed graduating students just like you. And I quote, "When you start out in a career, you have no idea what you will be doing. People who know what they are doing know the rules of what is possible and impossible. You do not and should not. The rules of what is possible and impossible were made by people who've not tested the bounds of the possible by going beyond them. And you can. If you don't know it's impossible, it's easier to do. And because no one has ever done it, no one will make up any rules to stop anyone from doing that particular thing." End of quote. So I tell you now, go do the impossible. Change the world. Be a better person because of it. You become what you believe. Touch people. Make your life matter. Make it count. Leave behind something wonderful. Create a life you want. Never compromise. Be the best that only you can be. To quote a line from the movie Yentl, "With all there is, why settle for just a piece of sky?" Congratulations, batch 2018. I wish you all the luck in the world.